everyone, this is Dr. Nisha Nujumudeen. The topic of discussion for the day is Human Development Index. In this particular session, we'll have a quick look into HDI both from the prelims and mains point of view. So now, having said that, what is human development? We all know that when there is an investment or a focus on the social indicators of the economy like education, health and skill development, then that is called as human development. So now investing or focusing more on education, medical facilities and skill development leads to the formation of something called as human capital formation. Now, Human Development Index, like your GDP, is also another index. If GDP is an economic indicator, HDI is a social indicators. So now, in the year 1990, what happened was like a panel of experts, they came and discussed and said that just like GDP, we should have an index to measure the quality of life of people. GDP does not take into consideration social indicators. So now that is the reason Human Development Index was brought in. So in 1990, the Human Development Report was officially put forward by an organization called as UNDP, United Nations Development Program. And now the persons behind this one is a Pakistani economist, Mehboob Haq, and the second is an Indian economist, Amartya Sen. There were also other people helping them to prepare this Human Development Index, such as R.C. Desai, Lord Magnard of London School of Economics, etc. But though that is the case also, it is said that a systematic framework to the development of HDI was given by the Pakistani economist Mehboob Haq and Indian economist Amartya Sen. Having said that, this Human Development Index, the basic aim of bringing it was to shift the focus from capital accumulation to more of socio-economic welfare or development by including or incorporating what? Social indicators like education and health. Now, when this index called as HDI was constructed, again, it was based on only 3 factors or parameters. There are so many factors or parameters to be considered, but HDI focused only on 3 parameters. One is literacy rate, or let us keep it more simple. The 3 factors or parameters for calculating Human Development Index, which is a statistical tool to measure the lives of the quality of population was, one is education, second is health, and third is income. So these 3 factors, based on this only, Human Development Index was calculated or measured. Now, technically we call education as literacy rate, and health we call it as life expectancy at birth, and income is measured in terms of US dollar, that is in terms of purchasing power parity. To make it more simple, I can tell you that out of the 3 factors or parameters to measure Human Development Index, health means the longevity or the life expectancy at birth, which means when a child is born, from the date of birth, how many years he or she is expected to live on this planet Earth, provided there is better medical facilities available. When somebody falls sick or have some sort of diseases, when there is a better access to medical facilities, automatically he or she will survive and their lifespan or longevity also increases. So that is what the health parameter or indicator of Human Development Index tells you. And what is the technical keyword for that? Life expectancy at birth. The next one is what? Education. What is the level of education? How many people are literate in our country, India? That is another parameter of what? Of measuring Human Development Index. And this education is called as literacy rate. Now, this literacy is further subdivided into 2 categories. One is MYS, mean years of schooling. Another is EYS, expected years of schooling. So now, mean years of schooling. I repeat, mean years of schooling. It means or it refers to the current schooling of the population, the current schooling level of the population. In simple terms, how many people have completed their primary, their higher secondary, or let's say their graduation, post-graduation, etc. in a country. So now to calculate the mean year of schooling, they always take one specific age parameters, that is of the older population. How many people have completed their years of schooling who are 25 years and above. Let's say, for example, what is the total level of education received by the people? How many 10th class, how many 12th class, how many graduates, how many postgraduates, etc. So that is why I said how many people have access to knowledge within that particular age bar. Okay, that is called as what? Mean years of schooling. Whereas expected years of schooling means it indicates the future level of schooling, or let's say the future schooling level of the population. For example, when a child is born, or let's say expected years of schooling means it indicates the school going age, or let's say the child who is in a school entrance age, for how many years he or she can expect to receive education. Can they receive education up to only 10th class or higher secondary or graduation, post-graduation, etc. So this is the main basic difference between expected years of schooling and mean years of schooling. So MYS or mean years is what? The current schooling level of population. Expected is the future schooling level. A child who is in a school entrance age, what is expected education he or she can access or receive? That is the meaning of this. Now, for the examination, they can ask you, consider the following statement. What are the components of HDI? Health, education, income. Instead of that, they can give you life expectancy at birth, mean years of schooling, expected years of schooling. Instead of education, they can give you like that. It is a sub-classification of what? Education or literacy. So that is the reason you have to know this as well. And now, having said that, the next one is what? Income. What is the purchasing power parity? Purchasing power parity in simple terms means what is the capacity of an individual to purchase the goods or services based on their income. Higher the income, higher the capacity. For example, if your income is 30,000, you buy an Oppo phone, right? If it is 1 lakh, you can buy an iPhone also. So now based on your capacity to purchase and your income, you buy or desire to buy the products accordingly. So now income determines what? The living standard of the population. Higher the income, higher the living standard, higher the per capita and vice versa. So these are the 3 indicators of measuring what? Human Development Index. That's it. It is a very, very simple concept. You just don't need to get confused from any textbook looking into all those difficult terminologies. You study in the most simplified way, including what? The UPSC keyword also. Having said that, let us have a look into the measurements of what? The measurements of Human Development Index. Now, this HDI, before 2010, it was measured using a different method. That is from 1990 to 2010. Human Development Index was measured using a method called as linear averaging method. So linear averaging method in simple terms means arithmetic mean method. What is arithmetic? When you add the sum total, addition, right? So HDI used in linear averaging method is called as arithmetic mean method. In simple terms, according to this particular method, HDI will be calculated as follows. HDI is equal to health plus education plus income, the whole into 1/3. And now this method was based on an assumption called as perfect substitutability. So now what is substitution? Substitution means when you can replace one product or commodity for another. right? For example, if there is no tea, you can replace with coffee also. Similarly, perfect substitution means, for example, no matter how bad the health of an economy is, you can still replace it with another indicator such as education if education is doing too good in the economy. For example, because of COVID-19 pandemic, the entire Indian economy, health sector was facing a lot of issue, right? But let's say, for example, the education sector was having greater output. So now what should the government do? They have to focus on developing the health sector. Am I right? But according to the perfect substitutability assumption, it is said that even if health is bad also, if education is good, let us substitute and keep calculating HDI. This method of calculation was not sounding that great to many experts. So this method was completely removed in the year 2010. On the 20th anniversary of UNDP, what happened? This method was changed and a new method was introduced, and that is called as geometric mean method. And this is very important. So now after 2010, Human Development Index is calculated using a method called as geometric mean method. In simple term, multiplication. HDI is equal to health into education into income, the whole into 1/3. That is the formula. Here, there is no assumption of what? Perfect substitutability. It is taken away. That is, if the health of an economy, the health sector of an economy is performing bad, means you cannot replace it with education or any other sector. The government has to focus on what? Putting more money and giving more importance in bringing up that weak sector, or let's say health sector. That is how this particular geometric mean method functions. And this is considered to be more systematic and scientific in nature. And this revision in the calculation of HDI happened in the year after 2010. And now, how is HDI ranked? Again, HDI is ranked based on certain categories or score. For example, on a scale of 0 to 10, for example, if the score is from 0.03 to 0.04, then it shows a very low HDI. If the rank is more than 0.5 to 0. Let's say 6, then it comes under low HDI. If it is 0.6 to 0.799, then it comes under what? A high HDI. So now there is something called as very high, high, medium and low HDI. Some scoring is given. Take care. So now India comes under the medium category of human development, which means that the Human Development Index, the HDI score of India as per recent data stands at 0.644, which means we are doing better. We are in the medium category compared to the previous years or compared to the previous decade, 10 years back data. But then recently 2021-22 data shows that Human Development Index in a country was better. Out of 190 countries, India was ranking 132. Before that, India was ranking 129 or let's say 128. But as for 2023-24 data, instead of decreasing the rank, India has slipped 2 to 3 points more again, which means that the current rank of HDI for a country India is 134 out of 193 countries. Where are we going? Instead of decreasing, we are increasing. This shows the low human development of our country India. This is indeed a very serious topic of discussion. This cannot be the case. This is a main topic also. What are the reasons for low HDI in our country India? Of course, alarming growth rate of population, uncontrollable, right? And no resources to feed the growing population. Again, low agriculture productivity, lack of access to quality education. I am not telling you there is no education. There are so many schemes, that, this, etc. But quality education is still a question mark. And again, skill development. lot of skill development program is there in our country, India, but adequate or proper skill development, that is not happening. Even today, majority of population are put up in which sector? Agriculture sector for our country, India. And most of them are unskilled or semi-skilled. This has to change. So all this is actually causing a threat to the development of our country, India, in the context of Human Development Index. So now you can actually make a note of those points as well. Having said that, coming to the Indian states. Among the Indian states, which state do you think has the highest HDI? Of course, as all of us know, the state of Kerala. It ranks number 1 for Human Development Index, whereas the state of Bihar, it ranks the lowest. Bihar, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, all these have a very low Human Development Index. Now, global scenario. Let's talk about global scenario. We saw the rank of India, right? Now, which country do you think ranks number 1? Always the Scandinavian or the Nordic countries, they rank number 1 for HDI. If you see Switzerland back to back, since 2022, Switzerland is ranking number 1. Even as for the recent data also, Switzerland ranks number 1 for HDI, followed by Norway, then Iceland, Hong Kong, Denmark. List goes like this. And one reason is that their population is very less. It is not that our country, India, or any other country is not great. You may think that, ma'am, why is UK and US not coming? US is having the highest GDP. Again, population parameters and other factors are taken into consideration. So that is favoring these Scandinavian or Nordic countries. That is why they are number 1. Is it clear? So these points you can use in the mains answer writing. And now, among the Asian regions, if you see, it is very interesting to see that among the Asian regions, Sri Lanka's performance is notable. Suddenly they rose as a top performer, even overcoming India, I would say, in what? The Human Development Index. So now, if those countries can do, why not India? So India has to even more give a robustest push into developing the social indicators at the best. So this is what you should know with regard to Human Development Index. I hope it is crystal clear for you, for your prelims as well as mains examination. I will see you all with more interesting topic in this particular series in the coming sessions. Feel free to put your feedbacks in the comment box. Whatever topics you want also, you can put it out in the comment box. I will come with such kind of topic. Thank you and Jai Hind.